Hi and welcome to this week's YouTube where we're going to talk all things wellness. We launched our Colours of the Year last week and as part of that, one of our collections was focused on wellness because it is such a massive interior trend. Trying to bring the theory of wellness into your home has so many benefits, so we're going to cover that today. So wellness is defined as the active process of becoming more aware of and making choices towards a healthy and fulfilling life. It's more about thriving and not just surviving. So, how can we implement wellness into our homes? That's what we're going to focus on today. The interior design term quite often used when you're talking about wellness is biophilic design, which is defined as a connection with nature, which is quite simple when you put it that way. It's proven to inspire, boost productivity and also create a stronger sense of well-being. The corporate environments try and implement it within your office spaces. So we're going to take a little bit of these techniques and bring that into our home interiors DIY style. So to put it simply, as I mentioned, it's all about bringing the outdoors in, creating indoor environments that reference nature in both quite obvious and then subtle ways as well. It can all sound quite fancy. As I mentioned, biophilic design probably sounds a little bit daunting and out of our remit as DIYers and not necessarily technical interior designers. However, we can utilise basically lighting, layouts, textures and colour in order to achieve these kind of interior design concepts in our own home and achieve wellness. So first up, we're going to talk about spaciousness. It can provide balance and boost your mood, and also probably a lot of you are thinking, well, I know this. And the most simple way to achieve spaciousness is by opting for a lighter and cooler colour scheme. They can make a room feel really open and airy. But there are some other tips and techniques you can use without thinking that you need to paint your whole house in a shade of off-white. So for example, coordinating colours, selecting from the same set of tones is a really great way to create spaciousness. It's less jarring than contrasting colours would be. Therefore, it helps the space to blend a lot better and it gives the illusion of a bigger space. Another tip to elongate a room is actually to paint the two longer walls in a darker shade than the two shorter walls. It draws the eye and gives the illusion of spaciousness. Alternatively, if you're working on a very long, dark, narrow room like a hallway or a galley kitchen, it's actually better to paint those shorter walls in a darker, warmer tone to bring those in and restore the balance and flow of the room, which can help it feel a little bit more spacious. In a smaller room, it's actually, contrary to what you might believe, quite a good idea to go for a darker shade. So this is great in like a cloakroom bathroom under the stairs. You would actually select the dark shade on all four walls, and this helps the walls blend together and give that appearance of space. So another top tip is to actually paint up to 10 centimetres away from the height of the room. You may already have a picture rail or a cornice up or something to go to, but you can just colour block. That extra white band paired with the ceiling being white it stretches the ceiling, makes it feel like it's got extra height and gives the illusion of spaciousness. So a final tip is in selecting your paint finish. You could go for a light reflecting finish instead of a flat matte finish. So options are an acrylic eggshell. This is a scrubbable paint finish around about 15% sheen level, really ideal for hallways and it bounces the light around the room. If you want a slightly higher sheen, you've got soft sheen, which is a washable paint finish, and then the sheen up from that again, you've got silk. Okay, so final tips are around your accessories to achieve spaciousness. So mirrors are quite an obvious one. They can help make the room feel a lot larger. Another tip is floor to ceiling curtains. Now if they're really big heavy fabric, this is not the way to go. But if your curtains are just an aesthetic piece, you could opt for breezy fabric that goes floor to ceiling. And I heard somebody once reference, it's like a woman putting a high heel on, it really elongates the leg. The same thing happens when you've got ceilings from floor to actual ceiling. Choosing shorter furniture is another great shout, so shorter back chairs can really make the rest of the room feel larger. And then another final top tip is when you're placing furniture, leave gaps between the walls and the furniture, which again helps to give that appearance of space. Okay, so now we've talked about spaciousness, next up is colour psychology. It's something that's been documented well since the 60s, it's been around since longer than that, but it's how colour can impact your mood, your feelings and your overall vibe of your home. So first up, it's blue. It's proven to have really large positive effects on mental and physical well-being. It increases intelligence, and let's face it, we could all do with a little bit of that at times, a sense of trust, and also the ability to find tranquility. It's a peaceful and kind colour. However, some studies have found it's not great for appetite, so I'd maybe avoid it in the kitchen unless the January diet's not going too well. So in our wellness collection, we've selected two blues, two really gorgeous grey blues. First up, we've got Blue Pause. It's a light grey true blue with a celestial undertone. It's the perfect paint colour to create a really calming area. Next up, we've got Mindset, which is more of a soft grey Arctic blue with a twilight undertone. So a little bit more dramatic, ideal if it's a south-facing room that gets a lot of light. These shades are the perfect choice. For a home office, as I mentioned, it's all about productivity, intelligence, or they work really well in a bedroom because they're such tranquil shades. Next up is green, which is a soothing and calming colour that's associated with balance, harmony and nature. It's a colour of growth and renewal. If you think about it, an actor waits in a green room before they go and start on stage. Saturated greens, really vibrant greens, can overwhelm, whereas greyish greens or sage tones and khakis often read as a neutral, but they have all of the benefits of the green undertones. So in our Colour of the Year Wellness collection, we've opted for three greens. The first up is Retreat. Retreat is a light, warm, cloudy grey-green with a pearl undertone. It's a really beautiful off-white shade, perfect to achieve spaciousness in a darker room where you want to take one colour throughout. Next up, we've got Deep Breath. Deep Breath is a soft grey, minty green with a yellow undertone. That helps the green to feel a lot warmer, and it's ideal for those cooler rooms like an east-facing room. Finally, we've got Self-Gratitude, which is a more of a mid-tone grey toad green with an ivy undertone. It's actually painted on the wall behind me. It's really lovely. I like to call them like a moody green, but really warm as well with its tones. These kind of shades, your greens, are ideal in kitchens, family rooms and lounges, with all of those benefits of bringing the outdoors in, that harmony and balance that you really want in those kind of rooms. So finally up, it's whites. These reflect light and they make rooms appear larger and brighter and much more spacious. They also evoke feelings of purity and innocence, so they're great when trying to achieve wellness. However, whites can sometimes, when overused, feel a little bit bland and a little bit sterile. We've created 5 off-whites in our Colour of the Year collections just to take a little bit the starkness away from a brilliant white and add a touch of either warmth or cool tones depending on the lighting in your home and what type of off-white you need. So, one of the final ways to achieve wellness within your home environment is through the use of natural textures. Now, the first of these, I've got plenty of them around me, is houseplants. They are proven to boost your mood because they've got increased oxygenation. They can improve air quality, reduce fatigue. They can even improve your skin because of the humidity. That's always a winner for me as I'm getting older. And naturally, they provide a stronger connection to nature. Next up, it's when choosing textures for your home. So light wood, paneling, wood slat walls, all really on trend at the moment and a great way to bring some of those natural textures into your design. Think about the flooring choices, your use of accessories, marble, stone, concrete, those kind of natural environmental textures from outside, get them in amongst your accessories, and it's a really easy way to achieve wellness. So as I mentioned, that wood slatting wall, if that feels a little bit too much of a stretch for your DIY skills, there's wood slat wallpapers, there's wood panel wallpapers, all to help you achieve those natural textures. You've also got a huge trend in botanical wallpapers at the moment to bring more of that greenery inside and that vibe of bringing the outside in. Finally, you've also got concrete textured wallpapers, linen, stone, marble, all of these natural environmental textures that really will just add that wellness touch to your home interior design. So, as promised, that was a DIY's approach to implementing some wellness into your home environment. I'm not saying that you need to completely reset your home and recolour it all, as I mentioned earlier. It's about creating indoor environments that reference nature in both obvious and subtle ways. So even if you start with some houseplants, a change around in your furniture, or a revamp of your home office first of all, because of all of that working from home and these gorgeous green or blue tones, all of this will help to go some way in achieving wellness within your home. We've got lots more of this over on our blog and socials, so don't forget to give us a follow. Finally, we'll be back next week where we're talking all things how to paint a ceiling. Now, it may sound a little bit simple, but we promise we've got some top tips in there for you. So don't forget to subscribe so you're first to know when that video goes live. See you next week.